we all have addictions and habits at some point in our lives, right? It's simply a way for the body to protect us from not feeling what's there. My experience with habits, I'll speak for myself, is I used to emotionally eat to distract myself from not feeling my emotions, because 4 years ago I didn't even know I was doing that. It was an autopilot behavior where I feel an overwhelming feeling and I immediately walk to the fridge and I just start eating. I'm not hungry, I'm just eating. It wasn't until I started becoming aware of my unconscious behavior and habits, and I started to understand the brain-body connection. I'm like, holy shit, the reason why my body keeps doing it or doing this habit automatically is because I didn't have the capacity to process the emotion in real time. So my body or my brain immediately registers that we have to eat. So it acts as a buffer to what's actually there. Now, the thing about this continuous thing or habit or addiction, however it may be, is it's not sustainable. At some point, the addiction or the habit can't hold itself anymore. It can be used as a buffer point. But here's the challenge. Let's just say you have a habit where you can't do without your morning coffee, right? Every morning, or you take coffee maybe like 5-6 times a day, and you've been doing this for so many years. Now, at some point, you might label yourself that I'm probably addicted to coffee, or you tell yourself, man, I can't get my day going without my coffee. And maybe like 5 years after doing this consistently, you want to stop or reduce your intake of coffee because you've seen the effect in your life. Now, the way the brain-body connection works, just because you say you want to stop a habit or an addiction, it doesn't turn off that way. No, the challenge I have seen, especially in my life with emotional eating, was the moment I decided that I don't want to emotionally eat anymore, I just stopped cold turkey. I didn't understand back then. Probably a week after I stopped cold turkey, my brain reinforced the habit twice the amount of time I emotionally eat. So that's when it clicked in my brain, like, holy shit. The reason why it was so challenging for me was because I was judging the habit. The more we judge our habits or addictions, the more the brain reinforces it. The brain doesn't like to be judged. So how do you navigate a brain that doesn't like to be judged, that is doing everything it can to protect you, to stay alive? And how do you show your brain or your body to soften its edges around those habits and addictions that don't serve us? Well, the very first thing is the relationship with the voice in your head. The problem is not the addiction or the habit. No, that's not the issue. The challenge is how you judge yourself when the said addiction or habit comes in real time. That's the challenge. And for me, with the emotional eating, once I started to understand that, anytime I feel the urge to emotionally eat, even when I'm not hungry, this is what I do. I give myself a window of 90 seconds to feel the raw emotion that I'm feeling in the moment. After 90 seconds, I still go emotionally eat. I don't judge the behavior, but I give that space to feel what's actually there. Sometimes I stay less than 90 seconds, but I kept doing that consistently. And over time, my brain was able to soften and drop that habit. Because I stopped judging it, I changed the relationship on how I speak to myself. But most importantly, when the emotion came up, I became aware of it and I gave myself a window, but still go do the habit. Do you see, my friend? So the problem or the challenge is not the habit or the addiction. No, it's your relationship to it. And you also have to give yourself grace. We're human beings. We all have habits and addiction at some point in our lives. The challenge is the judgment. So there's already the addiction, which is protecting you from not feeling what's really there. And there is our judgment of the addiction and the habit. So if you currently have an addiction or a habit in your life that you're trying to stop, the very first thing is not to just abruptly cold turkey stop the habit. No, because your brain is going to reinforce that habit or addiction. That's just how your brain works. It's trying to protect you. The very first step is to ask yourself, how can I speak to myself in a more compassionate or kinder way? You're not changing anything. You're not trying to fix anything. You're changing the relationship with yourself. And that's how the habit starts to soften, or the addiction starts to soften, right? It's not easy, but we just consistently becoming aware that, check how you talk to yourself when that habit or addiction comes up in your life, and go from there. You know, compassion and kindness for yourself will go a very long way to help you soften the relationship with the things you don't want in your life.